everybody, welcome aboard the canal tours for tours through the inner harbors and canals of Copenhagen. How are you feeling today? Woo! That's good to hear. So guys, we're going on a 1-hour trip here. We're gonna go all around the things you can see here. We're gonna go to the Little Mermaid, to the small canals, and everything. It's going to take about 1 hour. Our captain today is Carl Emil. You can all say hi to Carl Emil. Hi! And my name is Stefan. I will be your guide on this tour. So Carl Emil is gonna make sure. Now we are sailing out from the canal of Nyhavn here. This is where most people go to take some photos of all these beautiful, colorful houses. They were actually painted in the 1960s, but this canal was excavated 350 years ago by Swedish prisoners of war, some say Danish soldiers, to make a passage to the King's New Square, or in Danish Kongens Nytorv, where the theater lies. Watch your selfie sticks, your cameras, your hands. Don't touch the bridge. Thank you. So on your left side, this is called the sunny side of the Nyhavn here. So this is where all the bars are on the dark side, the shadow side here. It's more the tourist shops that are there. But these bars here, they are known for having quite expensive beers here. So I'll give you a little hack here, a Copenhagen as we call it, because the locals, we don't go to the tourist traps. We just go to the supermarket and buy cold beer, and then we sit along the water here. But for newer areas to sit in, most Copenhageners, we go to other places. We go to, for instance, on the other side of the water here, when we're coming out into the open harbors, you can see Paper Island. This is the name of one of the 5 man-made islands that was created in 1685. Because there used to be a paper storage here. And they created this staircase where lots of people are sitting and enjoying the sun here in the summer. As you can see, there are new buildings there. These houses have been built in the last 3 or 4 years. And they're sort of shaped like Toblerone, so sometimes we call them the Toblerone houses, the chocolates. And this, right now, is the most expensive area in Copenhagen. Last year, one of these apartments was sold for 9.5 million euros. But they were, as I said, these islands were created in 1685. At that time, we were building ships inside the city center, in the small canals there. And we were building them out of a lot of wood, so that was a big fire hazard. So we moved shipbuilding out here, and this became the biggest workplace in Denmark. Nowadays in this area you find creative educations like the film school, the theater school, music academy and the architect school. On the left you can see the Danish National Theatre's playhouse here. It's designed by Lundgaard and Tranberg. This was built in 2007. Only 2 years after we got the Opera House here, so they were both extensions to the Royal Danish Theatre in this zeros here. Upstairs you can see there are what looks like, this is the dressing room for the actors here. As you can see, they do have curtains they can pull so they can make sure they are secret and getting ready. Now on the right side you can see the Opera House and the Opera Garden here from 2023. There are plants from 5 different continents. It is built in the style of English romantic gardens from the 1800s. Meters into the waters, making saltos on the way down. Took 3 seconds to reach the water, and they reached speeds of 85 kilometers per hour. of us on the left West Indian warehouse. We used to import goods from the West Indies. Today, the West Indies group of islands in the Caribbean Sea is known as the U.S. Virgin Islands. We actually did sell these to the United States in 1913. There are three main islands: St. John, St. Croix, and St. Thomas. And then there's a one smaller island that today is known as the Epstein Island, which is why we stopped selling islands to the United States. And some of them are museum ships. On land you can also see the black submarine here. And normally you're not supposed to sail in there, but I think they have different rules for the sailing boats here. But it is a military area. The black submarine was active in the Gulf War. It's a submarine that you can go inside it now and see all the instruments here as a museum. On land there's an old mast crane from 1750. They used to put mast crane on the ships here. And also the patrolling in the area north of Copenhagen, lots of summer houses. And then the ship accidentally fired, or the captain accidentally fired a missile that was accidentally armed, and it had You can also see on the corner here, this is the name Battery Sixtus. It's an old fortress here with cannons on it and on the Danish flag. It has been here since the 1400s. But the flag is even older. This is actually the oldest to the left. The same as the Swedish and the Norwegian cross on their flags as well. So they sort of copied our design, but ours was the original. Now here they fire cannon every morning at sunrise and get a sunset to give signals to the ships that they can also to attract some people. So they said anyone who dares to do this in the new they had a long publicity on this. Copenhagen. She's been living on a rock since 1913. She has a fishtail for legs. You know her as the Little Mermaid. That is correct now. She needs a proper introduction. She does seem to struggle a little bit with the PR because she's now made it to number 2 on the international list of the most disappointing attractions in the world. Not fall into the water as this Little Mermaid, she was a gift from the Carlsberg Foundation. It was the Progrulka Jacobsen who had watched her league. Beautiful church here with this beautiful dome here. I also recommend going inside. It's called the Marble Church, also known as the Frederick's Church, because it was King Frederick V who built it. There is 20% of marble that's imported from Norway. It took 100. So now this area here was made because the king, he wanted to attract the people who had money. And at that time it was the Dutch merchants. So he built it to look like Amsterdam. So if you've been to Amsterdam, you notice the similarities with small canals and narrow houses, and now you know why. Because he wanted to attract them, the Dutch merchants there. But instead it ended up being just Danish workers and merchants living in this area. So he didn't get much out of that. But we did have a beautiful area. As we go in here, you also see a lot of boats and houseboats. And it's also in this area that you find the free town of Christiania. And I also recommend that you visit on your visit here in Copenhagen. The area that we're sailing into right now, it's a quiet zone or residential area.
Я знаю.
Circle Bridge. Circle Bridge is made by Olafur Eliasson, also made the lamps in the upper house. And on the other side of the water you can see this big black building here called the Black Diamond. This one is from 1999 and it was very controversial when it was first built because it doesn't look like the rest of the city and people were complaining about it. But now as you can see we have a lot of these newer buildings here, so it fits in better. But this is the Royal Library. Inside here you find all the books that's ever been published and also magazines and everything here. Now on the corner here you can see a little mermaid statue. The next bridge coming, it is very narrow as well as low. So I'll ask you all to take your hands or keep your arms inside of the boat here. Thank you very much. Now guys, it's a wonderful day. I almost feel like I am in Italy. So I can tell you, my big dream has always been to be a singing gondoliera in the canals of Venice. Thank you very much.
Браво, браво.
Девушка, как вам понравился
Мне
сегодняшний
понравилось.
тур?
Мне тоже.
Вы довольны? Тетя Лена, вас облили?
Как будто мы побывали в Амстердаме.
Да, как будто мы были в Амстердаме. Ну ладно.